Everybody's happy. Everybody's good. Awesome. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Homestead Heart. And today, you all, I thought I'd bring y'all along with me for an experiment that I started. And I decided that I would share it with you all because I've heard some of your concerns when it comes to raising meat in your backyard on an urban homestead, right? So some of you have stated that you would love to be able to raise your own Cornish cross chickens for meat. Yeah, you would like to do it on your own. However, you do have some limitations, right? So one of those limitations is, Mrs. H, my backyard isn't that big. I don't have the space to raise 25 chickens at a time, right? Or, Mrs. H, I don't have the space to move the chicken tractor around every single day. My yard is just too small. Or, Mrs. H, I don't want to have my neighbors complaining because of chickens being loud and noisy and all of that. Or, Mrs. H, I don't want to have to worry about the smell, because that's going to stink. They're going to be pooping all over the yard and in the grass, and it's just going to stink all the time, and that's going to be another problem, right? I get it, and I totally understand. I totally understand. So I'm going to share with you all an experiment that I have been doing for the last 3 days so far, right? And the meat birds that I have out here right now, I only have 11 of them out here at the moment. I don't know if you all remember the whole story about what happened to an entire batch of 26 chickens, I believe it was, in our nursery that I thought was killed by a snake. It wasn't a snake. It was a big old nasty stinking rat that killed all of my little baby meat birds, all right? He's co-signing. So, yeah, he said, yeah, I was there. I saw it. But in any case, you all, we had to order a batch of chickens. This is the last batch right here that we got at the end of the summer. We were really blessed to get our hands on these, but we didn't get 25, 26 birds, right? In this chicken tractor, we only have 11. Yeah, we only have 11. And actually 2 of them are so small that I don't know what's going on with them, but they're nowhere near the size of the others, even though they've been fed the same. Now, but that's a whole nother topic. But in any case, you all, that's what we have in our chicken tractor. Our chicken tractor is an 8x10 made of 2x2 lumber. So it's very lightweight, right? Let me show you this. This tractor is so lightweight that I can lift it up and move it myself. The first chicken tractor we ever made out of 2x4s was way too heavy for me to move, and I stopped trying, and Mr. H had to move the chicken tractor every day, right? But we built something lighter that allowed me to be able to move this. Now we have the space. We have the space, but what if you don't have the space? And what if you don't need a tractor as big? All right. So first off, let's deal with the issues that I presented earlier that some of you may have. All right. This experiment that I'm doing here for 3 days so far, this chicken tractor hasn't moved in 3 days. Now I still have another 10 days before processing these birds, I think, and I'm not moving them at all for those next 10 days because I'm going to prove my point, okay? I'm going to prove my point. Now, what I have done when I first put them on this particular spot right here, they were just on the grass, right? and they were pooping and going on and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Day 2, I didn't move them. I just simply grabbed my mulch hay here and I covered the ground with the mulch hay. I just covered it to the point where I knew that if they walked on it and pressed on it and pooped on it and all of that, they still would not be touching the poop that was underneath, okay? So I did put, I don't know, maybe a few inches of mulch hay down. Not very, very thick, but thick enough, all right? And that's something you can gauge for yourself. But the mulch hay I put down, and then I put their feed and their water back in. And so today I came back out and repeated that same process. And I'm gonna show you something here. The way that this is working so far is that when they poop here on the ground, right? And I cover it with the hay. So they walk on this no matter what. They walk on this and they're gonna poop on this. However, the hay here is covering up the smell underneath. Now, one of the other things that you can use if you want, you can add pine shavings if you like. If you can't get your hands on mulch hay, you can do this with pine shavings. And they have those at Tractor Supply. I think they're like $6 or $7 a bale at Tractor Supply. And you can use that or a bag at Tractor Supply. But if you can get your hands on some old hay from anybody, or grass clippings, those are free. You even have neighbors who cut their grass and put their grass in bags. Ask them if you can have them. Just tell them, I'll take them off your hands. Once you get done with cutting your grass and you bag all that stuff up, I'll come and take it off your hands. Because that's gonna be a nice mulch or bedding for your chickens as well. But when they poop on this, all I do, I'm just coming back and adding more to the top, more mulch hay to the top of what they pooped on yesterday. And then they just poop on this, right? This is deep bedding. And I'm just gonna keep layering for the next 10 days. And it's not gonna be some very thick bed, right, after 10 days, because they're gonna continue to compress this down just by walking on it. But as I continue to layer this, you all, as I continue to layer this, I'm creating something here. I'm creating something that can be utilized in my garden, right? So whether you use pine shavings, whether you use mulch hay, whether you use grass clippings, deep bedding inside of a chicken tractor is certainly doable. It's certainly doable. Yes, there's no smell here. This is day 3. There is no smell here. None whatsoever. Nothing. And the chickens are quite comfortable. In fact, I might take a picture of them and make that my thumbnail so you can see just how clean and comfortable they are for the last 3 days. Yeah, you all. So that's something you can consider. Now just remember, if you do want to do a chicken tractor in your backyard, remember your chickens will need about 2 to 2.5 square feet per bird. Here come Agnes out of the garden. I know she done caught some stuff. She looking full and fat. Licking her paws. She done ate something. And I can't pick Agnes up. She's not one of them that you can just hug and or hold and pet. Agnes is not one of them. She don't like you bothering her. She'll rub on you, but you don't touch her. Okay? But in any case, you all, I digress. But in any case, you all, this will work. If you decided to build a chicken tractor, something smaller. Let's just say your tractor was the size of this opening right here, which is about a 2x8, right? That's 16 square feet, right? Yeah. This will hold easily 5 to 6 meat birds. and you can raise them in this size until processing day. Now, this is just for everybody who's been wanting to do their own meat birds, but just feel like they don't have enough space to do it. I'm just giving you some options and some ideas. And keep in mind, if you're ordering your Cornish cross from a hatchery, like Meyer Hatchery, that's where we get ours from. And when you order them and pay for them, they don't all have to come in at the same time. You can place your order for your first batch could be what? Let's just say you want to order 8 chickens, okay? Well, you order them and you pay for them, but they have a list of dates. They have a schedule, and you can choose when you want them delivered. And so if you know you want to raise about, I don't know, let's just say you want to raise 40 chickens for the year. If you wanted to order them in, order them to come in at 4 different times, 10 birds per batch. Then of course, when you place your first order, let's just say your first order comes in March. Then your second order, you'll have it scheduled to come in May. Your third, you'll have it scheduled to come in July. And your fourth and final, you'll have it scheduled to come in September, right? So what you're doing is you've paid for the birds in advance, but they will come in on the dates that you schedule them. And I say 8 weeks because it's going to take 8 weeks from the time that you first get your chickens in, 8 weeks from the first day you get them in to the actual processing day. And when you have them processed, now you have a little bit of time to prepare for when your next batch of birds is coming in. You might have a day or two, depending on how you schedule it, for your next batch to come in. All right? And if you do it this way, make sure you rake all this hay out and you'll just start again. You'll just start again. So I'm showing you this right here is day 3. We got 10 more days. So that's going to be 13 days total that this chicken tractor will have been in the same spot. I just have to remind Mr. H not to move it. But 10 more days of them being in this same location. And so far, like I said, day 3, there is no odor. You all rake this out. Once it starts to get to a certain height, it's up to you. Once this bedding gets to a certain depth, you can start to rake it all out, put it in your compost pile, and there's your fertilizer for your garden, right? Now, if you're going to be putting it in your garden, make sure you all that I wouldn't use diatomaceous earth if you're going to be putting it in your garden, because diatomaceous earth is going to also harm the beneficial insects to your garden too. It could hurt your bees, it could hurt your earthworms, all of that. So you just want to be mindful of that. The good thing about diatomaceous earth is once it gets wet, well, you really don't have to worry about it so much once it's wet. But I just wanted to share that with you all. I wanted to share that with you all so that you can start thinking about maybe you can do this for yourself with your own meat birds. Maybe you can. You don't have to get a whole lot of them at once. And remember, if you can't get your hands on mulch hay, go ahead and consider grass clippings. Go ahead and consider pine shavings from Tractor Supply. Yeah, go ahead and consider all of that. It will all work. The goal is just to make sure to cover up the poop and any odor that could be coming from the smell, which I know is a big concern. You don't want your neighbors complaining. But what about the noise? What about the chickens? I don't want the neighbors talking about the chickens too loud. Do you hear them? How much noise are they making? Let's see. Nothing. I'm gonna tell you, the only time these meat birds start getting, a little bit rowdy is when you don't feed them on time, when they get hungry. But as you can see, their feed bin is full. Their water is full. They're fine. I fill their feeder up every morning. And whatever's in there, that's what they have access to all day and evening until the following day. And then I'll come back and I'll fill it up again. I only fill it up once. So you all, yeah, I hope you found this video helpful. These chickens are no louder than the birds in the trees as long as they're happy. They're very, very calm and very, very quiet. Now, like I said, they could be very aggressive when they're hungry. But other than that, you don't have to worry about them being loud. You don't have to worry about them being smelly. You don't have to worry about any of that. You don't have to worry about people complaining. Yeah. If you're concerned about people knowing what you got in your backyard, you know, put a tarp around it and, you know, that way, and face the opening in a direction where they just can't be so nosy. What you got over there? Ooh, I know, boy. Sometimes. And people's nose can be this long, all the way across the road, right? But you all, yes, I hope this helps. I hope this gives you some ideas. You all. There is no smell coming from this chicken tractor after 3 days. I smell nothing. Nothing at all. Tomorrow, there will be poop all over this hay. Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be. But that's okay. I'll come out and I will cover it like I did, front to back. Yeah, I'll cover it just like I did. How do I get the hay all the way back there? I use a fork and just put it back there. The chickens move out of the way. Or if you don't have a fork, you can just dump it in and use a rake to kind of push it around and make sure it's nice and covered. I don't climb in there, okay? So yeah, that's just an option for you, y'all. Like I said, I hope you found this video helpful for those of you who are wanting to find ways to be more self-sustainable. I don't know if I talked about this feeder or not. I don't know if I did or didn't, but if I did, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it again. This feeder right here was a feeder that we made out of a Tractor Supply bucket. The bucket itself was $5. The lid was $2. So that was $7 for just the bucket. And then the pan at the bottom was actually a dog bowl. It's a dog pan, and I think it was like $10 or something like that. Probably 10. So, and then the little brackets, we got some L brackets that we used to connect the two together. Okay, and they probably was like $3 or something like that. So really and truly, less than 25 bucks, we built a 5-gallon feeder. You buy a 5-gallon feeder, you can do that, but it's gonna cost you just about double the price, okay? So we built the feeder. And I think I used some old screws that were about 2 or 3 inches long to put through the bottom of the pan to go through the inside of the bucket. Yeah, I think I got 3 of those in there just to kind of give it some extra stability. But other than that, those were just screws that we had around here. But that's our feeder for them. And then of course we have a waterer here for them, and those can be expensive. We didn't make that, but we got it from Tractor Supply. So you all, I hope you found this helpful. Like I said, if you just built a 2x8 tractor like this with the wire mesh on the outside, the hardware cloth, and then just a little lid to put on the top, that can be your chicken tractor, and that can hold a few birds at a time. All right? So y'all, I hope you found it helpful. I hope you considered this a possible solution to those who are in urban areas, or if you're not in an urban area and you just want a solution to raising meat birds because you might not be able to move a chicken tractor every day physically. So even if you're not able to move something physically every single day, hopefully the deep mulch method inside of a chicken tractor would be an option for you as well. Okay, but I'm doing this as an experiment, but I'm going to show you that it works. I'm going to show you if it starts to stink or whatever, I will let you know. Now, one thing I'll tell you, that as the larger the chickens get, the more they eat, the more they poop. So if you have to come out here, let's just say in the evenings, and add a few pine shavings over the top, that's fine. You still ain't got to move it. You still don't have to move it. I'm using the mulch hay, but if you used a big bag of the pine shavings, you literally can just take a little bit of a nice little bucket of pine shavings and just sprinkle them over the top and cover, and that amazing pine scent will come through and you still won't smell nothing. Okay? So y'all, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss videos that we upload to our channel. And if you all have other solutions for those who would like to do backyard meat birds, okay? Backyard meat birds, and you have other solutions, post them in the comment section below, and let's give them as many options as we can. All right, now you all, next I'm going to talk to you all about the breast chickens that we ordered. I'm going to talk to y'all about that in the next video. Okay, all right y'all, but thank y'all for watching Homestead Heart. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.